my Michael's mic. In 3, 2, 1, Tracker's mic, cue to go.
Now, they withdrew from the city just late last month, but they're back again. Syrian forces, security forces in the city of Hama. That's the fourth largest city in Syria. Witnesses say that the security forces are raiding homes, arresting activists, angry residents, setting tyres on fire and blocking roads to keep those forces at bay. We're told that street battles broke out, activists throwing rocks at soldiers. That video you're looking at there, we believe, was shot in Hama today. Now, back in 1982, you might remember that there was a brutal government crackdown in Hama. Security forces going in. The crackdown was against Sunni Muslims. Many thousands of them were killed. Now, that crackdown was carried out, yes, by the father of the current president of Syria, Bashar al-Assad. Now, Syria finally allowed CNN correspondents into the country last week, but getting a clear picture about what is going on there is still pretty difficult. You've got the government minders looking over your shoulder pretty much the whole time. Hala Gurani tracked down one activist who is speaking out against the regime. Perhaps, actually, we should say that he tracked her down. Have a look.
The Damascus suburb of Douma. Amateur video from last April. Tear gas in the air, the sound of gunshots. A man injured, carried down the street. A few weeks later, this scene. CNN was taken to the same street with government minders. There were armed gangs, people told us, vandals, not peaceful demonstrators. Then, away from the camera, a young man sweeps past me, slips a folded piece of paper in my hand. It's my email, he says. They're lying to you. They cleared the neighborhood for your benefit. He then disappears. For the next few days, we email him. We will call him Zaid, not his real name. He's too afraid to meet us for now. He wants to be sure we're not being followed. Days later, we agree to speak in person in a public place. We're not showing his face for his own security.
Every Friday there is more than 5,000 security guys. Not just the security guys, it's guns, machine guns, and army. They are, all of them are armed. They have a guns, and every Friday they are ready to shoot us if the demonstration become big.
Zaid says 3 of his friends have been shot in Douma. This is the often underground opposition in Syria. Those who say in secret they want the security forces to stop harassing them, who want to be free. But if they want to show their faces on camera, for now, this is how they're doing it. A gathering in a park in central Damascus. It took 2 months to get a permit, and they had to promise no posters, no slogans. The singing of Syria's national anthem. A minute of silence for the dead.
This is officially a vigil in honor of the hundreds of people who've died in the uprising in this country since mid-March. It's billed as apolitical. But when people know you're a journalist, they come up to you and whisper things that they say they still don't dare say on camera.
But outside the vigil, pro-regime elements appeared, praising the Syrian president and selling souvenirs. In a Damascus hotel that week, prominent dissidents and intellectuals met for the first time in public in Syria. The government didn't object. Not the young people, these are the older generation. Like Loué Hussein, men who've spent years in prison for advocating democracy. The meeting was controversial. Some said it legitimized the regime while killings continue. Arif Dalila spent 7 years in prison for giving a university lecture that irked authorities in 2001. He didn't attend the opposition meeting because he says it wasn't the right forum to express dissent.
We cannot go back and cannot remain in the current situation. Even those in power must start speaking in a new language, even though we still don't believe what they are saying.
The men of Dalila's age could be the grandfathers of the young protesters on the street who say they want change. Today, it is a new generation's turn. Zaid, whom we met in secret, says he wants to make his own children proud one day, but still can't show his face.
You are afraid to show your face on camera. Why? What do you think would happen to you if we filmed your face and put it on CNN?
Put it on CNN? I will disappear. Maybe for 1 day, week, month, year. I don't know. But I will disappear, I am sure.
But whether they show their faces or prefer to remain nameless, for the opposition in Syria, this could be their defining moment. Hala Garani, CNN, Damascus.
Yeah, and you know, as Hala reported, their protesters in Syria remain defiant despite the risks. And for the first time, the Syrian government actually brought in a CNN correspondent to cover a demonstration against the regime. Our Damon reports now from a Damascus suburb.
Friday prayers are underway, set to end very shortly. Of course, on Fridays is when we do see the largest demonstrations once prayers do let out. Now, we are in the neighborhood of Barzeh. It is a Damascus suburb, and this is one of the areas where activists say Syrian security forces have fired on them indiscriminately, one of the areas where the government gives its narrative, and that is that it is simply targeting armed gangs. We were, in fact, brought here by our government minders, but with the warning that we had to be careful of these armed gangs. They are claiming that the demonstrators come out carrying weapons. We've been trying to network with the people here. They're very wary because, obviously, the government minders are with us, although they are staying quite a ways away from us right now. But basically, we're heading towards where the demonstration is supposed to be starting from, which is somewhere inside the neighborhood. There's absolutely no sign of any security forces, at least not that I can see. This is one small group that has departed from one mosque, chanting for the downfall of the regime, chanting that all Syrians are united, and they're about to meet up with another group that is left from another mosque to create an even larger demonstration. Chanting peaceful around this massive Syrian flag. You'll notice that some people have scarves on their face or other things. They're telling us that it is because they want to hide their identities. They're afraid that Syrian security forces, if they see their image, will come and detain them. We ended up right in the midst of the demonstration, having broken away from the rest of the media and our government escorts. Okay, Njay. Okay. Though they remained concerned. So that's our government minders that are telling me that we need to return right away because, again, they're claiming that it's not safe.
It's really safe. So there is nothing here.
We took it upon ourselves to take the risk, despite the government warning. The security forces pulled out in the last few days, we are told, the military perched up in the hills. And on a banner, a message to them. Please shoot us with rubber bullets. Quite different to what happened here, the Damascus neighborhood of Barzeh last week, when the demonstrators say 5 people were killed. We see bullet holes in a number of buildings, and then we briefly meet a man who tells us in a hushed voice that his 27-year-old son was killed weeks ago. We come across a man who identifies himself as a doctor.
We want to show you the field hospital that we have here.
You set up a field hospital. Did you set that up?
We had a coordinating for Damascus doctors. We organize it. It's illegal. But this is the only way to treat injured demonstrators.
How many injured have you had in this neighborhood?
Like last week, we have like 40.
The field hospital is nothing more than a tiny room where many bled to death on the floor, the doctor helpless to save them. But he says people are afraid to go to government hospitals.
They refuse to go to the government hospital because they will be arrested, and if they died, we can't take their body. After their family come and make a signature that they are armed troops. Gunshots.
The government denies that allegation. But it's a government that the few hundred gathered here believe lies repeatedly, one they want removed from power.
Bashar Assad, get out!
In the heart of the capital, an almost festive atmosphere. Thousands gathered to celebrate and show their support for the Assad regime. They say they believe their leader can do no wrong.
Why he is perfect? Because he is the best man. He is we deserve him, and he should stay our president. On one side, the chant of God, Syria, and only Bashar. On the other,
believe me, people of Syria don't love President Assad.
The firm belief that Syria cannot exist as long as he is in power.
Great work there, as usual, from Awa. Also, thanks to cameraman Jose Amijo and producer, the lovely Jumana Karadche, for that.